Fatalo fatu ila mai mo mai le ni fo yasu. Li ia le tua ilo na rofa malona anga le lei. Ua mfaifoi ana moli mai lo tau so fua ma mantu wala. Fatalo fatu ile mai mo mai le puleanga Samoa pia mai mo te tele se ia i mo mai. Fatalo fa tatu o tulu yo na tulanga fa pea. Fatalo fatu ile tolo ma mal tatu por kala mi tulu ma. Malo so fo man mia malo fo langi ma. Ole tatu por kala mi masani ya solulu te tasi. Male fa potonga le nei por SOCIETYSOSAIETE ale Samoa FAASAO por Samoa Conservation Society ya pia masani ya solulu te tasi. Ole tatu por kala mi la le so ya ole am fayo na e mai mo mai ai i se vaenga ole fa manatuina ole se fulu tausanga talu ona tu ona fatula mai le SOCIETYSOSAIETE le ne ya po le fa la potonga le ole Samoa FAASAO o se vaenga la ne por kala mi va ya solente va ya so atoa le utuna ya sa fa manatuina ile se fulu tausanga ole fa la potonga le ya wa le fayon tatu fantasi male fionga ya sala Josephine Stowers yo no nisi tu ngia wa le fayon ma alfia ya ai la nota u le tatu por kala meleso le ai mai mo mai ai ise va enga le o fa mana twin o sfulu to sangal SOCIETYSOSAIETE o le aso lulula va ya so lentene na o tu ai por kala me mal tatu fa la potonga di colisio faleata ya ma fa tino na inisio va enga ya ai mselaba o le por kalame male to ino le la au to ino la au masala au Samoa o le por kalame la le colisio faleata.
Planet Earth is the result of all the little steps that each and every one of us takes to reduce our environmental footprint on Earth. Right now, we are in a critical moment in the history of our planet, and the decisions we take in the next few years, you guys are the future of Samoa, these are the decisions that you must take, will have a very important impact on the future of our planet. Since climate change is the result of our impacts as humans, it is us, humans, who have to solve it. We cannot blame someone else. We have to do change ourselves. So every one of you has a very important role. Never forget that. And also never forget that we must choose action over words. So I salute Faleata College for taking this action. Can we have a round of applause for Faleata? So the Society FAASAO Samoa, or the Samoa Conservation Society, we work very closely with our partner MNRE, and we've been promoting carbon audits and tree planting for many years now. We've planted around 30,000 trees at different sites in Samoa over the last few years. And Samoa is the perfect place on this planet to plant trees because it's warm and it's wet. So trees grow very fast in Samoa. Some of the fastest growing trees we grow here. We also have very good soil as well. So trees, like the falanga here, 50% of that is carbon, right? Half of that is carbon. So they're one of the best carbon sinks to actually absorb the carbon out of the air that's causing the greenhouse gas effect and climate change. Each of those trees can absorb around 230 kilograms of carbon. It's a lot of carbon. So today, the school is going to plant around 50 trees, and that is to offset or counterbalance your annual electricity usage every year. So every year you must plant 50 trees, either here or in your maumangas. It doesn't have to all be here at Faleata, it can be other places. So what you're doing today, and stress this, you should be very proud, because you are the first school in Samoa that is actually going to be offsetting your annual carbon emissions. You're going to be the first school carbon neutral in Samoa. So another round of applause for Faleata College. Just to say a few words of thank you to the people who have made today's event possible. We thank the headmaster, Mr. Pua, for taking leadership role to develop Faleata School as a truly green school. So green is already in the color of your uniform, so it seems like God preordained your school to take a leadership role for this. So thank you. We also thank the teacher, Mr. Johannes Wheely, who's on the SCS Executive Board, and the SCS Vice President, Salah Josephine Stowers Kolo, for designing the program today. And a very special thank you to Asuao and the MNRE Water Resources Division for, at very short notice, providing all the tree seedlings and coordinating the restoration today. In conclusion, I would once again like to thank you all, students and staff of Faleata College, for your commitment to being climate change warriors. Please spread the word that together we can win this fight.
O le kilo kakai o whainga lunga whapea. O le mokua kala pepe loa. No, don't laugh. Because it is true. O le mewuna le tele ino whale tonu ngā luenga whai. O na awa te whainga lunga whapea. E le lei. Tanga lai wa i whapea. I ngai pauan meo tuto I lalo. I le ai. Tā ua ia wai kaung kāle pepa. Kaung kāle whakula au. E o ai whainga le palapala lea. E le tupe nā luai. Rono winga. O le kaimini ei. E panche si me whape nei, o kou ia leo mātua. Ai alu fo lai whai au tonga la au le whale. Ia e mapai lunga ma ho whau le, e le taunga o fie. Ai whape nei, a tōle la au, o le me mua mua, o ai le la au po le lei. Ia whai lai le lei lono winga, o le me lai so o ai o le la. O le pūla ua umana sta pena le, en tanga ruenga. O le me whai, ina ia awa nei mai mau le palapala. Whapea, e te tano, o mile la au whapea. E o mile la au ina ia mau popo le le palapala. Sa, lei, mau popo lo palapala. Lono winga, o la ua e loa, ua mawhainga o fio na vi ese le pepa. E te iloa, ia, o leo whainga luengo masani ai. Ai whapea vai. Tano lolo lima tu whapea, u vai lima ia. Tu whapea. Yo fia to ele mutu le pepa ina. Faole ina. Vai, le mes pala tele wan. Ia ona tang ona ele se madi ale. Le pepa le. Ai vai to lai se ia to uria. Koi om. Ina ia mafaya na ma popo. Umalones na vai. Vai le se pepa. Le se le ia pepa. O vai mai la. Ma popo apena foi le fa tu sa ma me ia tatou. Awani tau na fai foi lele. Na ia fatanu ai fai lele, fai fata ua e. Mo le ola la wa e fiola foi la. Umalo la, le wa i tonu. Ia, ona tu lo la yo le la au le pu. Tu la au le pu. Uman tu il palpala. Ia ona omi le palpala ila lo palpala le ina ia. Le leima mau popo le la au ia awani fa le tonu. Tola au isi vai. Te lan vai atu le maa. Tola lunga le maa. Lan me o la auna. Pa fol maa vela. Mai mau ela ia le o au la au.
Mau ina fo il tanto Fai Mo Ai le I tongtoni. Ia ai mai se fo. Ole to tele o la to na au ia. Ia mai se fo yo o aonga. Sa ia ano whanau ia ma onga I le nai tu. Ia sam fai ona awa I tanto portalami. Ai le leila vale usi mai ala mai mo. Ia e te mawai nisi fo ia vaenga tawa sam fai ona tutupu ai leso tofi lea I le pupu I tongtoni.
Sunga ya pete ai mo le sila fiel tatu office or tatu umane. We have here the principal forest officer. We are there all over. Ai ato le vaenga ato nei ole o tatu ngaduenga. O le sunga ya vailenga Timoteo Morris. We are all over audulu ai le vaenga le nei ai vai lima I nei tuntunga. Ia ma vai lima. Ia o ia foi ma le sunga ya Yose. Ya le kwau ia leo lo pa penao na via masi ni o la te vaenga Ia, e sistemi foi fia whaupupu mai la ua tātou polkalanga. Ia, temi nei. E lua vaenga tā ua ia tātou te fia tala noa i nei. So mai luma ia lua whamolmole alo mama. Okay. Alright. Okay, yeah. Okay. For the sake of our donor partner, Mr. Yakimu, I think we may have to, go mix Samoan English, right? So, for those of you who have never seen these birds, now you can see these birds here on this chart. And some of them, you might be able to see them as we walk, through this area. Now, I'm not going to go through all the birds, but there are specific birds that are common in this lowland area here. So, if you all you do is look at them, or if you hear them, let us know. James will be able to help out, and myself. And then that's to do with the so many birds that you've seen on this chart here. Now, there may be also butterflies, as you see here. There may be also butterflies. Now, if you see any butterfly that you want to ask and you want to know, right? Aloma is here, James is here. They will be able to tell you more about these things. But Jean, ole project coordinator nga, ole project le kiwa. She is the one managing this kiwa project here. So maybe Jean can speak a little bit about the geology of the area with James, because they know more than me. So it's best to let them discuss those things. Over to you, Sir James and Madam Jean.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. This is the first national park in the South Pacific. It's about 5,000 hectares or 50 square kilometers. So everybody should be very proud, especially you kids. The first national park in the South Pacific, we are in it right now. It stretches from here at the coast all the way to the highest point on Upolu, Mount Baibai and also Mount Pito. It is very rocky. Have you noticed that? Why? Why is it very rocky? Look at all this. Volcanic rock, but this is the youngest volcanic rock in Upolu. This is 3,000 years old. That's why there's a lot of rock at the surface, because it's very young rock. Most of Upolu is how old? Anybody know how old Upolu Island is? 5 what? No. Try again. Try again. Try. No, not you, Aloma. Someone else? How old is Upolu? Savai is 5 million. Upolu is 3 million. How old is Tutuila?
I don't know.
2 million. 2 million. But this island is 3 million years old. But yet we have 3,000-year-old rocks here. Very strange. That's why this place is very special place, because it's got the youngest rock here, but up in the center, the oldest rock. So you're thinking, how did the lava get from the oldest rock down here? It came through lava tubes, through caves. From the top of the mountain, the lava came through the caves and then came out. And that's why this whole area is very low, flat, because it's a lava plain. Any questions so far? This park is very Taua special because it includes the main forest types for Samoa, all in one park. Starting at the coastal forest here, moving into the lowland forest here, montane forest, and the top of the mountain cloud forest. The 4 main types of the forest are all found here in this park. And most of our 31 land birds are found here. And most of our butterflies as well. And if you can identify the most butterflies and the most plants, we will give you a special prize today. So the problem with this park has been lots of cyclones. Over the years, the cyclones, the Afar, they have ripped the park open. My friend here is from Switzerland. Does anybody know what the Swiss cheese looks like? Or the cheese from Switzerland? It's full of holes. See that what happens when the cyclone comes through here, it rips the forest and makes lots and lots of holes. And that is why we are planting trees here, to fill the holes. Because 6% of this park, 270 hectares, is holes with no trees. Our job is to put the trees back, like we did already. Okay, what else? I think I covered everything. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, Fai Mo Ai Taeao. Well, As we already, as you were already informed in the morning by our Vice President, that the project that I'm working on is called the Kiwa. It's known as the Kiwa Initiative Project. It's under IUCN, and we've been selecting this park because it's our pride, since it is the very first park is established in the whole of the South Pacific. While this park starts from the top of Mount Fito, Lepue, and now Mount Vaivai down towards the coastal parts of Upolu. So it's a huge park with a big percentage of the area that is heavily degraded by Miremia Bautata. So that is the work GIWA is trying to do. It's to manually remove the Miremia Bautata or Fuela Titele. The Fuele Masanyanga so solo lungola ang makape. So that invasive vine suppresses the growth of the forest. So what we want to do, instead of using the chemical within our soil, because that can contaminate our drinking source of, our source of drinking water, which is the underground water. So what we do is we manually remove the Miremia, and we have to make sure that the disposal of this slashing and manual removal of Miremia is probably done, so to make sure it doesn't regrow. So what we do, we dry them up in the sun, and we put it in the nursery so that we can grind it up and turn it into good soil to produce nutrients for the soil. And for Kiwa, the target itself is we have to restore 4 hectares of the land. So we already established the plots, and we have employed 30 youth from 3 village communities, which is Poutsasi, Salelua, and Saangsiumu. From that 10, 7 are male and 3 are females. So the females is designated inside the nursery so that they can do the collection and work on the soil, like filling the planter bags and do the collections and do the propagation. Whereas the men will work on the field by doing the slashing and land preparation, the hardest part of the job. And then we were looking at from that target, we were looking at 10 or 5,000 trees per village community. So the Kiwa is a continuation of the project back in 2016. Then it will continue on the P3 in 2021, and now it's on the Kiwa. So it's still implementing, the project is still implementing, and we're looking at planting a total of 30,000 plus Samoa native trees within this park. But we looking forward to working together with MNRE in the future to continue on this collaboration so that we can extend the work, so that we can cover this whole area with the planting of the Samoa native species, focusing on the lowland type of plant species. So as we go around, James and Falafanga already inform you about our trip today. So we just go around, we will identify some plants and some birds plus some butterflies, and when we get to the end of the trip, we will have a little quiz just to make sure that you gain something important, you learned something new today, and if you get it right, you will get a prize, a special prize. So the routes for today, we will have to go this way around back to the car park, and then we will stop there, have lunch, do our quiz, and we will have the final remarks, and then we will say goodbye. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. The NNRE team, the SES team is also working with you. So if you have any questions about plants or birds, butterflies, the skinks, please feel free to ask. So don't be afraid. This is your chance to learn something new. Okay, thank
Can I
you.
add a couple of other comments? It's very rocky. So you have to be careful, right? And be careful with the cliff. When we get, you hear the sound of the waves? That's where the waves are hitting the cliff. So be very careful because the trail is right along the cliff. So be careful, don't fall in the water. All right, so watch out. There's very rocky conditions underneath. So be very careful. The other thing to look out for in Samoa, every kind of vegetation is zoned depending on how far you are from the sea. You'll see when we go down to the coast, there's lots of fasa, ole papalangi pandanus. Lots of fasa, there's a whole lot of fasa. But as you move away, the vegetation changes because the sea influences the plants, all right? As you move away from the ocean, vegetation changes, so look out for that. We move away from the fasa zone or the fala zone, the pandanus, we get into the Taeao zone. And then other changes in the forest. Right down along the cliff is Aloma's favorite plant, or the to'i. The to'i, and I think that's where Aloma can tell you a little story about the to'i, which is a little shrub down on the cliffs. Very interesting plant, and there's also a lot of vines with purple flowers. Or the Fai Mo is also down there. So think about, because you guys are students, think about how the vegetation changes as you move away from the sea, the influence of the sea, and also the birds will change. And the other thing is dependent on your distance from the sea, your elevation, the kind of soil. It always affects what you will see in terms of biodiversity. So the birds that you'll look at see here, that's all like got a yellow around the neck here. The vasa, which is yellow down here. And you might see the salmon robin. These two are common here. The miti is common here. You'll hear the tiotala always calling out. Maybe you'll hear the manutangi, and maybe you'll hear the lupe. And if you hear the manumea, we'll give you a very special prize. For the butterflies, Aloma, would you like to explain which butterflies we're likely to see here? Which ones do you think we're going to see here?
You see lots of the grass yellow.
Yeah, the yellow one.
Lots of this one. The blue one.
The blue tiger.
Blue tiger.
Blue moon.
And these
You might see you'll see the little blue ones. You'll see these ones with the little white spots, the blue moon. If you see the swallowtail, then you get another special prize, because only our friends from American Samoa have seen this one, because this is no longer found in Upolu.
Kolu kilomita. Akon kilomita lo inyo pa kele de ya finika. Ya o ka kola au de ya nomi. Ya nomi sa o va pea. Se ilo pepa. Ba. Ko ko roa. Ai ka tia ko wa se ko ko e ko ina. Ai uma e fa ai unga o ta vale. Lai ye ele me. Fa ngoi. Ya ade pun na ba bele ba ngoi. Yo, vai. Ya, avai leo. Ole, va leo o yo tafa. Ya to ai uma. Ole, esto ya nga po le lima le ono tau sanga. E fa nga ya pe pale, va ku pe pale. Fuluma ke utul palpala ke sautua te longa wa pala malea nga ya
Ya, o se vainga na ia se vaenga o le porkalame le nei o le whaamanatuina o le sefulu tausanga, talo on whaatula i mai le SOCIETYSOSAIETE Samoa FAASAO, po le Samoa Conservation Society. Ya, o le FAASAO, ma le fuala o lungo nei tau mwhainga, ina ia toi whaafo i mai le puna o a whaanatura. Ya, e maise lava, o le tātou si o ma, le tele o la au Samoa, o manu lele, o le mawhai ona toi wa ai ele teimi le a maise foi tau mwhai e toi to tole la au ina ia tau fio fia pea le ele malpalpala ia mwhai titi ai le tele o vai e tafe mwhaaleanga ina ai le si o manga o le tātou o tunu ia o le tātou porkalame na mo le so tātou whailo i fo i le vai aso asau whaauau tātou porkalame ia pea mo le eino tau so i fua maramata wola manuia tele toenga le so